Dante's Boxing Nation.
What about Kell Brook?
Kell Brook?
He said 157 he'll fight you.
I think it's too small.
Too small?
Too small, yeah. You know, my focus on 160 middle division right now. Kell Brook, everybody just trash talk, you know.
Dante's Boxing Nation, what's going on, guys? So that clip you guys just watched right there, I believe that was immediately following the Golovkin versus Wade fight. And with me playing that clip, isn't it just interesting to see how things change so fast? Gennady Golovkin, he went from saying he doesn't want to fight Kell Brook because he's just too small. But guess what he's saying now? Let me go ahead and read this quote, and I'll give you guys my thoughts as always. Quote, "My first question to my coach was about Brook having different speed, but he said no, just different size, different power, and different timing. I thought, wow, it's interesting. He's my biggest fight, my biggest challenge. It's my biggest step. UK fans are huge and crazy. I like the atmosphere." Now that was a pretty interesting reaction from Gennady Golovkin when it comes to him looking at Kell Brook's size and him getting a little bit bigger and everything. But what he said next really took me by surprise. This is what he had to say. Quote, "I have a different plan and a more serious plan. Kell is a great fighter and I respect him. He's an undefeated champion from the UK with a great record. I understand it's not an easy fight for us, so I'm more serious and more focused." End quote. Now when you hear Gennady Golovkin say this, you would have to wonder, you would at least have to ask the question, number one, is he just saying these things because he's trying to sell the fight and he knows he screwed up when he said on camera Kell Brook is too small, so now he's still trying to make up for saying that by trying his best to sell the fight and convince fans that this is going to be a real fight? Is this just psychological warfare where he's trying to play mind games with Kell Brook because Kell Brook has been talking a lot of stuff? He's been talking about how he's bigger than Golovkin thought and he's going to surprise Golovkin with his size and power. So I'm trying to figure it out. Is Golovkin playing mind games with Kell Brook? Or could it just be this is exactly how Gennady Golovkin feels about Kell Brook? It could be all of the above, guys. It could be all of the above. I wasn't really taking it too serious what Golovkin was saying until I heard him say, "We are going to change our game plan." That's when I said to myself, Gennady Golovkin, he may actually be serious when he says all of these things, how impressed he is with Kell Brook's weight gain and how big he looks and all this other stuff. So now that makes me wonder, when Gennady Golovkin says he's going to change his style or he has a different plan now, does that mean we're going to get another Gennady Golovkin versus David Lemieux type of performance? Does that mean he's going to abandon Mexican style again and give us intelligent style? Is that what it means? Will it be safety first? I mean, what does it really mean? Because I don't really know. I don't know what it means. And once again, this could just be mind games. But I tell you right now, if Gennady Golovkin goes in this fight fighting a cautious fight like he did against Lemieux, he gives Kell Brook his best chance in the fight. I truly believe Gennady Golovkin's best chance is to fight his typical aggressive style. Something that I've always been taught, you bang the boxer and you box the banger, right? And we know that going into this fight, Kell Brook, he's the boxer. Not only is he the boxer, but he's the boxer moving up 2 weight classes. So it would make all the sense in the world to me that Golovkin would go in there as the bully. It doesn't matter if Kell Brook is coming into the fight heavier than Gennady Golovkin, because once again, that doesn't always guarantee that's going to translate to this newfound middleweight power for Kell Brook. I truly believe Gennady Golovkin, he gives Kell Brook his best chance if Golovkin goes in this fight trying to outbox the boxer. It makes no sense. Once again, we know that Gennady Golovkin is the strongest puncher in the middleweight division. So it makes all the sense in the world to take advantage of that natural size and power that Golovkin has and apply pressure all night. Once again, we found out, going back to that David Lemieux fight, that Golovkin is no Mike Tyson and he's no Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. And the reason why I say that, that's not a bad thing. But the reason why I say that is because fighters like Mike Tyson and Julio Cesar Chavez, they were going to come in aggressive, throwing bombs, no matter how hard their opponent punched, no matter what type of style their opponent had. They were always going to come in very aggressive. That's not Gennady Golovkin. Once again, we seen that in the David Lemieux fight. When Golovkin feels that someone is a power puncher just like him, when he feels they may be a little bit more of a threat, Golovkin will change up his style, which once again, it's not a bad thing. You have to have a plan A, B, and C. The only problem is, once again, if he is going to switch to plan B, which would be more of a David Lemieux type of performance, I think that is a terrible decision for Gennady Golovkin going up against Kell Brook. You do not want to try to box the boxer. I truly believe that. But once again, this is all just speculation. For all I know, Gennady Golovkin, he's still going in there with plan A on his mind, and that's attack, attack, attack. Be very aggressive and try to bully the naturally smaller welterweight champion. But with that being said, it was something else that Gennady Golovkin said at the beginning of that piece, where he said he was asking his coach, will he have different speed? And I guess he was saying his coach was like, no, just different power, different size, and different timing. I'm not really understanding what that means, but it sounds to me like Team Golovkin, they believe that Kell Brook may go into this fight being the strongest middleweight that Golovkin has ever faced before. At least that's what it sounds like. But if that is the case, that definitely implies they have a lot of respect for Kell Brook. And I'm gonna tell you guys right now, like I told you before, if this fight goes past 4 to 6 rounds and Kell Brook hasn't been hurt badly, he hasn't been staggered, knocked down, anything like that, this fight may turn out to be up in the air. We'll see what happens, guys. We'll definitely see what happens. That's all I got for now, and I'm on to the next one.